ho, ho, ho! Merry Shootmas, ladies and gentlemen. This is the special Christmas week episode of the Shoot Brothers podcast, the wrestling podcast, hosted by myself, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, Cameron Mistletoe Osborne.
Ho, ho, ho. You're right. It's the holiday season.
That's right. I mean, I'm sure this week we're going to see the gimmick matches, people getting smashed under presents and trees. AEW's got a holiday bash and all that stuff. But that's coming up later because we got other stuff to talk about from this week.
You're right. I hope so. Don't want to stop. I just kind of want to stop you right there because, every single year, every single holidays, and we say it all the time, right? We get the thing, where around Halloween, a pumpkin's getting smashed over somebody's head. Or, whether it be Christmas time, someone's getting doused in eggnog. And, it's just exciting to see what are they going to come up with this time.
I don't know.
And that's always the exciting part of the holiday show.
Yeah, what's hot this year? What's the hot gift?
Yeah, what's the hot gift that will be sponsoring the show? I've seen of these things, minis, like they're legitimately like miniature versions of real products. Have you seen these?
Like tech decks, fingerboards?
No, okay, in that vein. So it's a ball that opens, and within the ball is miniature things of like flat out like it'll be a miniature version of pancake mix, and it's the size of your fucking. The size of your finger.
It's like a little figure.
Figurine. And these are, and they're selling. They're off I saw a video. These things are flying off the charts. It's the ultimate like. Are you fucking
They're
serious?
just like everyday objects?
Everyday
like
objects. But branded. So, Aunt Jemima's syrup. You'll have a little thing of Oreos. Like Oreo branded. Cool. I wish I could remember the name of them. I can't.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
No,
is it ever fucking weird? I'll tell you that.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's tons of those things out there. The little blind bags you open. It's, it's like that Pokemon card addiction. The thrill.
Yeah. I love watching videos of kids open up Pokemon cards.
Yeah. I mean, it's legalized gambling for children.
In a way.
Because you get a hot card. You sell that card for $100, you just made profit, But that's Christmas, right? Gambling, fun, entertainment. Little kids underage get a little scratch card in their stocking. No one's going to call the cops, right?
No one's going to call the cops, baby. But you're right. We do have a big show coming up for you here on the podcast. So let's get into it. Let's kick off the show the way that we always do, which is by crowning a brand new Tweet of the Week champion. It's the Tweet of the Week. It's the Tweet of the Week.
Oh, baby.
Baby. Do you have anything on social media that sparked your world?
I'll let you do yours first, but I almost said I'll do Tweet of the Week just because of the craziness going on.
Okay, because sometimes I think there was a time maybe about a month or two ago where there was some craziness that you experienced that I completely washed over. Social media is so vast. That it's hard to really pinpoint on one thing, and sometimes you see something, it's a winner. And this week's champion is no stranger to championships within their own company, all across the globe, and even Tweet of the League champions, because now 2-week Tweet of the League champions, the Young Bucks. Bio queens, they change their bio every so often, as in all the time, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's enough to register with me, and sometimes it's not. This week it was. Young Bucks changed their bio to, back in our day, we didn't bury each other on social media. We had the decency to do it the proper way during shoot interviews. It's changed. Anyone can hop on online, tweet with their fingers. Anthony Ogogo, he got buried last week, courtesy of Dylan Postal, Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
It can happen to anyone, but I got to say, Young Bucks, you are the Tweet of the League champions this week.
Well. Let me just hop on this as well then. And did you happen to see the Twitter drama between Darby Allin and Cora Jade?
No. What happened?
All right. So, I mean, innocently enough, a fan tweets out a picture of like the two of them on skateboards, and it's like, yeah, skater match, Darby versus Cora or something.
Okay.
And then Darby responds, he's like, well, skating's a part of my life, not just some made-up character for TV. And then Cora replies, she's like, well, not being a sexual abuser is who I am and not part of TV or something like that. And
oh, okay. Yeah.
She dropped a bomb, and then they both deleted their tweets, and it just became a whole thing. But
what you doing, Darby? You don't have to say that nonsense.
Darby lit a match, and she fucking dropped the nuke on it. Is what happened. But
yeah, you don't have to say that, Darby. Also, Cora Jade, you might need to know what's going on in your world too, though. Many fans of the show do remember Elena Black from certain episodes of AEW Dark, where her gimmick was more of like a dark mage kind of thing.
I don't remember.
Okay, if you can recall, yeah. Earlier in 2020, Elena Black, I believe, was how she was branded. Yeah, she was all over Dark and Elevation. In those losing matches to the likes of like Jade Cargill or Layla Hirsch. But she was up there with a different gimmick, and that's what gimmicks are, right? It's a character you play.
Yeah. Either way,
yeah.
They deleted their tweet. I don't think it'll be. Yeah.
Now, do you think Cora Jade can do skateboard stuff? Because she's not riding the appropriate board, which to me conveys the message that you can do an ollie or a drop in.
Yeah, she's riding that like shitty little banana board.
She's riding the little banana board where we've seen Darby in clips, doing half pipe type stuff with Tony Hawk of all people, the legend of the pipe. Still yet to see Cora Jade bust out a kickflip, but that isn't to say it's not going to happen.
No, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't think it will.
I think eventually, she'll grow out of this skater gimmick thing, and she'll have lots of different personalities. She's only 20.
Yeah, well, I guess and maybe that's what we're forgetting, right? Is that she's a kid. That's why her gimmick kind of looks like a kid. See, it's creepy when it's Alexa Bliss, who is an adult, whose gimmick is I'm a kid.
I mean, they're all adults here.
We're all. I mean, I guess we're all. Yeah, everyone's a legal adult. But I guess if she's 20, she can't even drink in America.
No, not in that.
No, she can't even legally go to a bar. Even Casey Catanzaro can get to a bar.
Yeah, speaking of little kids, I don't know if she'll get let in though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure she's getting ID'd all the time. And I thought I got ID'd a lot. I'm sure.
Even with your beard?
Oh, yeah. Well, with the mask on and everything, maybe you can't see that I have a full beard. But either way, Young Bucks, Cora Jade, you're making up the ranks though too. The big pin at War Games, a Tweet of the Week runner-up. Who knows? You could be women's champion before long.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see some more of you later on.
Yeah.
But let's get to the wrestling week, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's get into our wrestling week. Let's kick off with a little Smackdown Live. Okay, folks, it's Friday night. It's time for Smackdown Live. It used to be on Tuesday, but then I think it was on Friday before, though. No, wait. They used to film it on a Thursday and then release it. It's just Smackdown Live. Last week was our first Roman Reigns-less show in what feels like probably over a year at this point.
Yeah, he hasn't missed very many, but let's find out if he's here this week. But first, we got some women's tag team action. Sasha Banks, Toni Storm taking on Charlotte Flair, Shotzi. Nice to see Shotzi back. We mentioned she's been missing the last couple of weeks.
That we were just talking about that last week. Where's Shotzi? She's right here on SmackDown.
Yeah, looking good. She got a nice amount of time in the ring. Her and Toni mixing it up, and eventually it comes down to Toni and Charlotte. Charlotte goes for a moonsault, but Toni gets the knees up, rolls Charlotte up into a nice bridge, holds her down for the 3. So Toni has pinned Charlotte. Big win for her.
Big win.
Yeah.
Does Charlotte Flair have something to do for year one? Day one.
I think it's leading to this Toni Storm versus Charlotte.
Feels like it's leading to Toni Storm versus Charlotte.
Or wait, no, I think I'm wrong. I think they booked that actually for SmackDown next week.
Okay, so it's booked for SmackDown, like a championship match for SmackDown next week?
Christmas Eve edition, yeah.
Okay.
Toni versus Charlotte.
Big,
I mean, maybe that just leads to, that could always lead to a non-finish rematch day one. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds right, but it's great to see that currently in line for kind of both of these women's championships are like non-previous champions. You know, it's not Sasha, it's not Bayley, it's not even Bianca Belair. It's
I mean, Toni and Shotzi being featured on TV. It's always going to be a good thing.
Exactly. You know, like the new age of people coming up, right? That's real important too.
Yeah. Tag team wrestling. Viking Raiders take on Jinder and Shanky, but nothing really to talk about here. Crowd still likes the Vikings, and they got the win. Big splash from Ivar.
Viking Raiders, first time we've seen them on TV, what feels like a while. And what happened to Veer? Remember Veer and Shanky?
Yeah, well, they split them up, and
I guess now it's
Jinder, showing these promos.
Jinder Mahal and Shanky.
Yeah, and Veer just keeps getting these videos, but never debuts.
He's getting the classic Rhea Ripley treatment. Just video after video after video. Video.
And then one of the worst segments of the year. I don't think we have an award for that, but I'm just going to award it right now. Happy and Madcap hosting Happy Talk, which has never been good, but this one was just even worse than usual. And they were in the Chicago, so the crowd starts chanting CM Punk, which I don't think we've heard much since he showed up in AEW.
I think this is our first CM Punk chant since August.
Yeah, so well-deserved, though. This was
like a full CM Punk chant, not just little rumblings
no, not just
here
a pocket.
There. Not just a pocket, yeah.
And I honestly think this was one of the worst episodes of any talk show I've ever seen in wrestling.
So we're talking the Peep Show. We're talking Miz TV.
The electric chair.
We're talking Corey Graves' electric chair. That was so bad they did it once.
They broke the chair. Never saw it again. I guess the whole thing is they pulled out this desk from last week, Adam Pearce's desk, because Drew stabbed it with his sword out of anger. So they pull that out. They can't get the sword out. Drew McIntyre comes out like the fucking sword in the stone, pulls it out. What's the name of that character? I don't know.
King Arthur?
King Arthur? He's the one that pulls the sword out?
I'm pretty sure. Was Merlin who put it there or something?
Based on a true story. Anyways. Yeah, I hated this whole segment. That's all. So let's move on to, Cesaro, Ridge Holland. Two guys that can go in the ring. But before the match even starts, Holland nails Cesaro in the ribs with his billy club. So, unfair advantage. Just targets that sore spot. He's got Sheamus cheering him on at ringside. And Holland's able to get the easy win.
Yeah, Cesaro is one of these guys right now. For me, he's another classic. We're on contract watch. Yeah, like whenever that is. Cesaro is consistently one of the most underutilized players in the company, especially because it's so funny the difference there where like Baron Corbin makes it on TV every week and hardly wrestles, but every time Cesaro makes it on TV, it's only when he's wrestling. He is the the staple for hey, we need somebody fill in. Cesaro's always fucking game ready. He's always ready for the fight. He's like Tyron Woodley coming into the fight, with 2 weeks' notice. He's always ready to go. Just similar to Tyron Woodley, he just keeps losing.
Yeah, can't get the big win. But let's go to Naomi. Comes out. She's got her Christmas list, but she only wants one thing. And that's the one-on-one match with Sonya Deville. So Sonya comes out to the ring, but then Shayna Baszler jumps her from behind. And that leads to Shayna versus Naomi. So Baszler wraps Naomi. She gets her in a submission, but then Naomi counters, pins her down, gets the win.
Over Shayna Baszler too, who is always one of the toughest opponents, but we've been seeing this little string of wins from Naomi. Day one, we're getting there. We're getting there. We have to be.
I mean, hopefully it has to happen. But the Usos take on the New Day. I guess it was the last match of the night.
Yeah.
Wrestling was pretty good, but nothing we haven't seen from these two teams before. We've seen crazier stuff, Hell in a Cell, all that. But eventually, Kofi hits Trouble in Paradise, gets the win. So, New Day, they're getting the title shot at day one.
Getting the title shot at day one, as they deserve. New Day with King Woods. It's nice to see that kind of, I guess, in both our kind of current King of the Ring places, the winners have been put into a favorable position.
Yeah, and they're still, they haven't lost the crown yet. They're still, some people just drop the gimmick and never do it again.
Of course,
Brock Lesnar never wore the crown.
Oh, he won King of the Ring?
Yeah.
Probably like the first year he was in the company?
Yeah, like the first couple months pretty much.
Yeah, I bet. Well, hey, look at Baron Corbin. He kept it for 2 years.
Yeah. Actually, I think there was a brief period. I think when Edge won and when Brock won, they replaced it with like a Stanley Cup trophy type of thing. They had like a trophy for the King of the Ring. Look kind of like a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Instead of having, because see, that's the thing. And I mean, if I'm thinking Baron Corbin, possibly elements of, maybe it hasn't been long enough for Xavier Woods here, but I also think Sheamus, and I'm sure there's other people in the past. Like when you win King of the Ring, it's like they have an established, no, we're gonna play out a king and subjects style like thing out. Like it's not just, oh, they're the King of the Ring, great, but I'm still my own person. I just won this tournament. It's like, nope, get the crown, get the cape, get the graphics that look medievally. It's like you now have to adopt a literal king gimmick, where I'm sure in Brock and Edge's case, it was like, no, I won a tournament, but I'm still this person.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know if we necessarily need to adopt an entire kingly persona.
No, but let's go to the final segment of SmackDown. Roman Reigns comes out to a big reaction. Huge. The crowd loved him here. There was even a Roman chant going on, and he says, "Acknowledge me," and they cheer him even more. So this Chicago crowd was just really into it. Roman was kind of smirking, just like, yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but,
Roman, he was wearing a new shirt today, too. I don't know if you saw that one. The needle mover, after his comments a few months back that CM Punk doesn't move the needle.
Yeah, and it had some, inside terms on there, like jobber, mid-carder, stuff that's...
Yeah, it was like jobber, mid-card, and then at the top was tribal chief. I think, yeah, it was like, jobber, mid-card, main roster, tribal
main
chief.
Event.
I'm surprised. Surprised.
So, Roman, he's got Paul Heyman there with him, and he's like, well, Paul, can I trust you? You working with Brock? He keeps showing up, all this shit, you not telling me? And Heyman's like, listen, Roman, I'm not protecting Brock from you. I'm protecting you from Brock Lesnar. So everyone goes, ooh. And Roman's like, all right, thank you, Paul. He hugs him, and he fires him. Hits him with the Superman punch. Then they pull out some chairs. He's ready to bash his brains in, but Brock Lesnar comes out, makes a save, clears the ring, and he hits Reigns with a pair of F5s. So Brock Lesnar stands tall to end the show.
Stands tall to close the show for the inevitable date for the day one rematch, which is coming on day one.
On day one, but is this just a big brain play from Roman Reigns to make Lesnar think Paul Heyman's on his side?
Oh, I don't even think that. Is it? I would say it's a big game play from not only Reigns but Paul Heyman. If I'm Paul Heyman, I'm thinking, hey, I've been around this business long enough. Superman punch me. He'll think we're not on good terms anymore. See, Paul Heyman is next level. We got to remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, that's what you're
thinking. I'm saying. Yeah. Like Reigns and Heyman are still working together, but he just took a little punch. So
I could take a I could take a Superman punch. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I mean, and
Paul Heyman has taken far worse bumps.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
So
as a non-wrestling
either way,
personality.
at this moment, the Tribal Chief is back on his own, or he still got the Usos, but
yeah, it still has the Usos. In his corner, and they are the SmackDown champions.
Yeah, I mean Brock, he's technically a babyface. So does that make Paul Heyman a babyface right now? For the next week or two?
Yeah, Paul Heyman has been doing this slightly babyface thing over the past little while just because he has been slowly reassociating himself with Brock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We will see.
We'll see. Let's jump over to the other Friday show. The minute SmackDown ends, you can just change your dial and more wrestling right there.
I'm sure it's great for all those customers, and the with cable.
Yeah, the ones with the old dial television.
Yeah, just click, 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 click.
That's right. We're talking about AEW Rampage. Starting off with some, how many? 8-man tag match, 4 per side. Young Bucks, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish taking on Orange Cassidy, the Best Friends, and Rocky Romero.
Now I have preferred to call this particular matchup, I don't know if you saw this, the Undisputed Elite Super Click taking on Roppongi Chaos Best Friends.
Okay.
We're trying to combine all the terms. We're trying to combine everything into one.
Yeah. Everyone. All right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was a fun match. Everyone's jumping in and out, taking their turns. Nick and Orange Cassidy, they both do the tightrope walking spot, one after the other. But then Orange Cassidy eats a 3-way super kick, so he's eating lots of damage there. But then he gets up, hits a big flip to the floor, takes out everyone, leaving Trent and Fish all alone in the ring. Trent gets Fish, and hits him with the crunchy to get the win.
To get the win. I really like this version of Bobby Fish over the past since his AEW run. I don't know what it is about him. He feels a lot scarier. He feels a lot more ferocious.
It's the mouth guard. It's the spiky teeth.
Is it the spiky teeth? It has to be more than just the spiky teeth mouth guard.
I know. But,
yeah, something about what he's doing these days. Feels different, refreshing.
Eats a lot of pins though.
Yeah, he does eat a lot of pins. In all of these situations, he's been eating the pins. But yeah, something about him has really clicked for me. It's been a lot of fun to watch him here in AEW.
Oh, he's getting on TV every week, so he must be doing something right.
Yeah.
Speaking of being on TV, we haven't seen this guy since he took that beating at the last pay-per-view. Dan Lambert, he's back.
This guy is back, baby. American Top Team.
American Top Team. They're not all here tonight, but he's got Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky with him, and he's just insulting the crowd and calling out Tony Khan. Says he's turning this company into late 90s WCW. So lots of heat from the crowd, and then he targets Cody Rhodes until the lights go out. Cody comes out to respond, but he's getting lots of boos as well, so no one knows who to cheer here. And him and Lambert just play hot potato, just grabbing the mic out of each other's hands back and forth. And eventually they comes to blows. Dustin comes running out. Sammy Guevara comes out. And that's kind of it.
Yeah, this one was bizarre because, like you had said, we don't know who to boo. And this is a classic thing where we saw Roman Reigns in this position a lot, right? Where it was like put Roman, or like remember like old babyface Roman, like just pushing down our throat, Roman, and it was always book him with somebody who will definitely get booed. That way, by default, Roman gets cheered. And the Cody Rhodes thing with these guys is that exact same kind of thing. You know, putting Cody in a segment with somebody who the crowd hates more should help his case.
Yeah, but instead they're just like, we hate you both.
And I mean, Dan Lambert can generate big time heat in a second. He honestly has to do nothing. He is so good at this. He doesn't have to.
I mean, you can't even hear what he's saying half the time.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. He just has to, and he just closes his eyes and just finish the promo. You know, so it's going to be a toss up to see. Are we actually going to is there a chance? I feel like worst case scenario for AEW booking is that some kind of match happens here, and Dan Lambert starts getting cheered. Because, you know, if he throws Cody Rhodes in a figure four or some kind of submission, Lambert's getting the cheers.
I think it's definitely possible.
Yeah, it's on the horizon. I really think it's on the horizon here.
Eventually, yeah. Because, I mean, he gets so much heat that eventually it'll come around back and people will be like, yeah, you know, we kind of like the guy.
Yeah, hey, I like him. I like his.
Yeah.
I like his unwavering spirit of just I'm finishing the promo. I'm finishing the promo.
Oh, yeah. He's very easy to hate, which I mean, you need that. You need that in wrestling. So, but let's go along here because we got a submission match, perhaps the first ever in the women's division. I don't know. Don't hold me to that.
Okay.
But Ty Conti, Penelope Ford, they're going to go at it here. I like this match. You know, obviously lots of holds, joint manipulation, but Penelope and Ty, they're very flexible, so they can do some cool stuff. But yeah, just some unique submissions wearing each other down, but Ty Conti gets the better of Ford. She does this, I don't even know what it was called, neither did Excalibur. Just a really cool submission that taps Penelope out.
Yeah, neither do I. And you know when Excalibur's at a loss for words, that we're really fucked.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Yeah, Penelope Ford, I know you were real hot on earlier on in the year. She had some singles opportunities, or it was just like she was just involved in a few matches that were really showed how much progression she had. You know, the leaps and bounds, and both of them are leaps and bounds to where they were. You know, whatever. I don't know if you noticed this one. The ending felt anticlimactic for me. The bell didn't ring.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know if you caught this one. So this mission's going on, and Penelope Ford's doing that, like, you know, I'm tapping kind of thing. But, you know, sometimes you never know. She might just be trying to grab the arm off or something like that, trying to create some leverage. And then the ref just stands up holding Ty Conti's win, and then Justin Roberts kicks in, like, the winner. I'm like,
did the ref fuck up? Did the ref not call for the bell?
I might think I would be more inclined to believe that the microphone that like mics up the bell wasn't on. Like it went off, but like us at home couldn't hear it happen because nobody in the
No, I was gonna. Well, I'll get to it in the main event, but there's another small bell moment.
Yeah, because nobody in the crowd seemed confused. Only me at home watching seemed confused. So who the heck knows?
Who the heck knows? But in between matches, they announced the Owen Hart tournament, both men's and women's. So that's not going to be till next May. Culminate at Double or Nothing, but.
Which is cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Adding, like things like that are important. I think having things to do that isn't just a championship feud. These things are important, right? Using things like battle royals over the course of weeks, months of television allows you to just use everybody, new things. Things don't get stale.
Yeah. And I'm sure they'll have some nice trophies to present, so this can become.
Of course, and we might get Bret the Hitman Hart out here too to present said trophy. Maybe who knows?
We might.
Yeah,
I think they've already announced Martha Hart. Martha Hart will be there.
Is
Owen's
that
widow?
Okay.
Yeah, she's been I mean, very anti-WWE, so this will be like her first kind of thing in the wrestling world since. So
I wonder why.
Kind of nice.
Yeah. Let's get to our main event here of the night because we have some more extended tag action here. God, this one's a big one. We got the Lucha Bros. We got Eddie Kingston, and we have Proud and Powerful. Of course, we're talking Santana Ortiz taking on the acclaimed Daniel Garcia and Niagara Falls' own 2.0.
The Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
Amen.
That's right. Yeah, lots of bodies here. Just chaotic match, but in a good way. Fast-paced action. It ends up coming down to Kingston and Garcia. And Eddie, he goes for his big spinning back fist, but Garcia ducks it, rolls Eddie up, holds him, and gets the 3. What a huge upset.
What a huge upset. Daniel Garcia has been making big fucking strides since coming here to the company. This was probably his biggest pin yet.
Definitely. And the timekeeper, again, he wasn't sure because the bell didn't ring right away. But I think this was just out of stun. Like, the crowd was stunned. Everyone was stunned.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, big pin for Garcia. And they weren't done there. The Acclaimed, they pull out the boom box, but it's got a chain wrapped up, so they nail Eddie with that. Jurassic Express run out to make the save. Jungle Boy picks up the tag titles, hands them over to the Lucha Bros, but you know they want a piece of that, so.
And that's just what it is, right? having the heels go over gives that opportunity, you know, maybe the Acclaim to believe they have a stake in challenging for that AEW Tag Team Championship, or maybe 2.0 for that matter. Pride and Powerful, Lucha Bros, they don't lose anything by losing necessarily, and Eddie Kingston doesn't either. Like, this is a win-win. One of the rare cases where, like, the shock heel going over is beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it helps Garcia. Eddie losing is not that big a deal, and at the end of the day, no one will really remember a big multi-man tag match anyway.
No, 10-man tag at the end of Rampage. That's a tough one to be remembering at every second, especially when we already got a tag match earlier in the night. That was twice the length, I think. So
yeah,
a little interesting. But yeah, that was your episode of Rampage.
Yeah, it was fine.
Looking fine. Let's move through the weekend then. God, I mean, yeah, no sense stopping the motion now. Any wrestling news over the weekend? Nothing that I can think of.
Yeah, I don't think I heard anything really. Nothing
Great.
Crazy.
No one's hurt. No one's been released. They didn't add a 4th day to Wrestle Kingdom, as far as I know. Wrestle Kingdom's coming up though.
Coming up,
baby. Month. The 4th and the 5th. So have that on your calendar. Let's move across the weekend then, and let's get ourselves to the beginning of the week. Now, on my calendar on my phone app, and Mike, maybe your calendar on your phone, maybe the calendar at home, Sunday is always the start of the week, and I've never understood that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Because to me, Monday is the start of the week. You know, we finish off on the weekend. Monday, we're getting back to work. The kids go back to school. But more importantly, the wrestling week starts.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's kick it off. Let's kick off our wrestling week then with a little bit of Monday Night Raw.
Let's get raw. Let's get raw.
Monday Night Raw, live from Milwaukee.
I believe it's pronounced Milwaukee.
That's right. Wisconsin? Is that what state?
Yes.
Milwaukee? Yes. Home of the Bucks and some other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Not the Young Bucks.
Not the Young Bucks. Not the Young Bucks. The NBA Bucks.
Defending champions, Young Bucks.
Yeah. They couldn't beat the Raptors, though. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, baby. Like, yeah, let's move on. We could talk about this forever. Because, yeah, we're building up to year one. I guess we only have two episodes of Raw before this big Raw or this WWE Championship match that's coming up.
Yeah, Fatal 4-Way, the newest addition to the match. Bobby Lashley comes out, him and MVP, and they talk about Lashley having to run the gauntlet last week to earn that spot in the match. But then Big E comes out and says, yeah, you're only there because your boy MVP hit me in the back with your cane. So Lashley tells MVP, hey, man, I didn't need you to do that, so you want to fight Big E? Why don't you go ahead and do it yourself? And he just leaves the ring, leaving MVP on his own. But then Owens and Rollins show up, start attacking Lashley, and everyone brawls. Lashley and Big E actually work together to clear the ring. So all of a sudden, Bobby kind of doing some babyface stuff.
Well, I was going to say, Big E helping there. Is that indicating a babyface turn for Lashley? Because it's hard to picture MVP also turning babyface, because he, when you are the figurehead, when you're the top of kind of your organization, of your stable, everybody else below you is kind of working for you, working under your direction. I don't know, maybe Bobby Lashley's had enough of kind of being MVP's little lackey and actually wants to go do something.
Maybe. I mean, definitely seems like they're at ends here.
Yeah, I think
We'll see.
Big E also dropped at one point. I don't know if you caught this, a reference to Bobby Lashley's sisters. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, something about.
As we all know, Max Caster of the Acclaimed was one of Bobby Lashley's sisters.
He also called MVP Iceberg Slim, I think, or something.
Iceberg Slim.
Some old pimp or something. I forget.
Okay,
I
because
looked it up. Something.
Okay, because I have heard the term Iceberg Simpson.
I don't know.
Okay, no, that is good to know. Because his things go deep. Some of these references that these kids throw out. So.
Oh yeah, but let's move on, because Bianca Belair taking on Doudrop. Bianca looking for the three-peat, but we're still waiting for that big moment. Let's see if we get it. I like the match, though. Doudrop throwing her weight around, getting the advantage. She climbs the ropes, goes for the Vader bomb, but Bianca avoids that. And then the moment we've all been waiting for. WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. But even better, because Bianca picks up Doudrop onto her shoulders. And then she walks all the way from the corner to the middle of the ring, hits the KOD perfectly. Standing ovation. Huge pop. What a spot. And, of course, that gets her the win. But, I mean, I'll never not be impressed with Bianca Belair. But that was just crazy.
Of course. We saw Bianca Belair do this earlier in the Thunderdome with Otis on her shoulders.
But she didn't hit the move.
She didn't hit it. She just walked him across, and I think he kind of, squirmed out. Or whatever. That's the moment that, like you said, that's what the crowd will remember. That's what we had been waiting for the whole time.
Yeah, that's one you can put in the opening package. That's a clip you can.
That'll be the new. I think I'm pretty sure that isn't that first clip still
Hogan slamming Andre
the Giant. I'm pretty sure it's still the very first. Like it opens
Put her
up
ahead of them.
It opens up with the shun dun 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 dun, dun. That little cymbal roll right before you get there.
Yeah, well, hopefully they earn their spot.
Yeah.
I could even see as Bianca was making the pin, I always noticed those little things, and they kind of gave each other a little hand squeeze, like, we did it. What a great moment.
Yeah, I do like some of those moments sometimes where the camera will catch, and you have to be paying attention to it, but the performer's talking to themselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember the Randy Orton butt pat?
Yeah, that kind of stuff. The Randy Orton
the pat on the butt.
The Randy Orton pat on the butt. We've got the squeezing the hand, the good job. The Seth rolling up Roman saying thank you. Those type of moments where you're like, yeah, this is big. This is big deal for the performers just individually. You can't forget that. You can't forget that.
Loved it. Loved Belair, and Doudrop held her own. So let's go along. Finn Balor taking on Austin Theory. Separated at birth. I don't know. They look kind of similar.
And I think this is why I thought Austin Theory was British, because I just thought he looked like Finn Balor, and
yeah,
some kind of combination of some kind of Brit, Scott, UK kind of thing. I don't know. I was thinking something.
Yeah, similar wrestling styles too. Just a good, well-rounded. Theory hits a nice neck breaker to the floor, and then another really cool move. I've never seen this variation of the Spanish fly. He just runs up, jumps, springboards, boom, big Spanish fly off the turnbuckle.
These are
really cool.
These are the types of things that I think pushes Austin Theory onto the main roster here.
Yeah, but then he gets a little too cocky. Starts pulling out the phone, taking some selfies. So Finn has his comeback, hits the coup de grace, gets the win. But I think this was Austin Theory's best match since being called back up.
I mean, I can't think of an Austin Theory's match even before he was called up, or even before he was called up. It really seems like he got to the way, and there was that thing, Indy Hartwell and the Gargano family, but he wasn't doing anything. The way was the least terrifying stable possibly I've ever seen. He was just
comedy. He was like the goofy little.
Yeah, he was the goofy little brother, and then we came up to the main roster, and then the whole thing with the egg, and then it was like, oh, you're just the goofy little brother again.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Miz TV. Miz comes out, brings out his guests, AJ Styles and Omos, and Miz mentions the two of them having some friction lately, and AJ's like, yeah, like you and your wife, ha, and then. AJ just does all the talking, and Miz is like, well, AJ, I talked to Omos, and I don't think he feels the same way as you. Omos says he's sick of carrying you, and, he's not the next Andre the Giant. He's the first Omos. And AJ says, this is all BS. Come on, Omos, tell me what's going on. But before Omos can even answer, the Mysterios come out because they got a match, and they don't want to wait. So... that's just, Mysterios, AJ Omos, Ray and AJ going at it. Ray hits a 619 early on, goes for a frog splash, but AJ gets the knees up. Then he crawls to the corner, goes to tag in Omos, but then Omos just turns away, gives him the cold shoulder. So AJ's stunned. Ray rolls him up from behind, gets a 3. Then right after, AJ just gets in Omos' face, calls him a piece of trash. Omos shoves AJ to the ground, so AJ jumps, attacks him, goes for a phenomenal forearm, but Omos just catches him, lifts him up above his head, and slams him down. Tells AJ, next time you see me, we'll be in a match.
Wow.
So they're done. They're split. Yeah,
Split?
It's over.
It's over. The team that brought, Omos up, AJ took a lot of pins. Just so Omos didn't have to.
Yeah, and I think he's going to take another one in this one-on-one match.
Yeah.
But you know what? I already think AJ Styles, he takes the best back body drop I've ever seen, and he can break a new record with Omos. The height he can get.
Well, yeah, so almost sort of slammed AJ down a bit, almost had him up on his shoulders like he was going to do, like an AA or an F5, in that type of motion, but then just sort of dropped him. I wasn't really impressed with that kind of power slam.
Yeah.
And it's hard for some of the bigger guys to have a visually impactful slam. You know what I'm saying? Without it being something that's kind of iconic, you can't do a tombstone. Right, that can't happen. Although the size-wise, you're like, this is perfect. There's, because there's no chance someone's gonna hurt their neck on that one. Or even I was never a fan of the of Kevin Nash's kind of thing where he would do he wouldn't go down with you
for the power bomb.
Yeah, I was never stoked on his power bomb but I get it though. The height, you're up there. You see the guy up there. You're like, wow, he's dropping down. 8, 9, 10 feet. But yeah, it's hard to make a big man move look devastating, which is weird. You think it would be easy because they're so fucking big.
Well, we'll see, but I think AJ, he'll be up to the task.
I think, maybe this could be a day one blow off. I do wonder.
Yeah, I think it just might as well throw it on there.
Because if that's the case, my shoot meter's flying. AJ loses at day one, comes back at the Rumble and wins.
Well, yeah. I mean, I definitely think Omos will be a big presence in the Rumble this year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always the giant, how you can eliminate him. But, I mean, he's, yeah. AJ eliminating him, that could be a huge moment.
But, yeah, one of these things where AJ paired up with Omos to get Omos over. He does that. But remember, AJ Styles is still like 45 years old. He's still clearly a top guy in the company. He's selling all of this merch. He sells the fucking gloves. And while continuing to be one of the best wrestlers on the planet. Yeah, he's winning the Rumble. Calling it right now. Calling it, people. Write it down.
All right. You heard it here. Let's go to Randy Orton taking on Chad Gable, who got to look pretty good early on. Gable catching Randy off guard, getting some nice moves in, but all it takes is one strike from that Viper, and he hits the RKO, spiking Gable down. Sold it very well.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good cutter.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is it?
Jumped on his head.
I mean, it must be easy to spike onto your head. Because we see it, too. Like, you know when someone goes for that kind of, like, Hurricane Rana DDT thing, that kind of, like, swinging thing, and then sometimes somebody will be spiked perfectly, and you're like, woo! But then more often than not, they just kind of, like, roll over, and you're like, aw.
Yeah, some people are better.
Some people are better. That's the maneuver where it's 100% taking it.
Yeah, like Nyla Rose is going to roll. They're not going to.
Yeah, Nyla Rose is going to roll, but Kenny Omega, he's standing up straight and may just I remember there was one, it was at Wrestle King like 3 years ago, and it was Jericho Naito, and they go up to those real thick, not meant to break New Japan tables, and they're standing on one, and Jericho goes for a spike DDT on Naito, who flat out like hits his head and then keeps himself up in like a headstand with his hands kind of supporting on the other side for like 2 seconds. Like he really like held it there, like he fucking like he spiked him, and he was spiked so hard it took him a couple seconds before he fell. I love seeing that. I love that maneuver. Or
there's a great famous still photo of Shawn Michaels where he's basically just standing on his head after selling a move.
or it was even like, I think the best fucking kill switch I've ever seen was Kenny taking it on that chair. He just held himself up there for us when Kenny lost the Impact Championship.
Yeah, the Impact title. Yeah.
He held it there. Great. He didn't just kind of fall down with it. There's certain maneuvers. And something where you're landing on your head like the kill switch or the DDT is just as important as somebody taking a stunner. You know how you take this. I mean, we've seen countless people, whether it's fucking Big Show. We see people just kind of fall down with him. There's also one particularly bad Vince McMahon stunner where he just sort of falls down with him. But the real guys are the ones who pop back up. The move is so devastating, they jump up in the air and then land.
Good job, Gable. Good sell.
Yeah, great sell.
But let's move on. Damian Priest taking on Dolph Ziggler in one of those championship contender matches. So Ziggler, he's putting up a good fight, but then Rude starts interfering, and that unleashes the crazy eyes in Damian, and he just starts beating the shit out of Rude, but he loses focus on the match because the ref just counts to 10, and Priest loses by countout. So all of a sudden, Ziggler is on a little roll here. Gets a U.S. title shot.
So yes, this was so like we've been saying before, Damian Priest does not take losses. We are still waiting. So of course, it was New Year's Evil 2021, early January, was the last time Damian Priest lost was pinned in a singles match.
Yeah.
Just doesn't happen. And of course, Survivor Series a few weeks back, he got the DQ loss over Shinsuke. Disqualification. But in that time period, DQs, pinfalls, submissions, whatever you want to call it, in singles competition, this is only Damian Priest's second loss in about 2 years. Both were DQs, but still, whatever that means.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. but that's him. Those crazy eyes. They cost him.
And we hadn't seen the crazy
But
eyes in
not
a
in a
little
big-
while, so they're kind of back. But yeah, it does seem like Ziggler, Rude is here to stay, and at this rate, Damian Priest needs a buddy, or else he's going to keep getting taken out.
Yeah, where's Bad Bunny?
Where's Bad
Is he
Bunny? Is
hopping
Bad
around?
Bunny coming back for year one? I want to watch that match again.
I don't know. But we go backstage for some more just terrible Vince McMahon, Austin Theory. And this, you couldn't even hear. I couldn't hear what the hell Vince was saying. He just grumbles like an old man. And I don't know. He had like a notepad with him. He starts rubbing the eraser and then blows the eraser dust in Austin's face and then just goes, ho, 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 ho. Like only Vince McMahon.
Yeah, still don't quite know what's going on here.
Yeah, this was, I don't know. This is just awful, awful, awful.
Well, yeah, and it's funny that Vince has been on. So he's never on television. We know this, right? But now that he is, so you're thinking to yourself, okay, if Vince is back on TV, it's for a reason, and it just doesn't feel like the reason is there or obvious yet.
No, I mean every single like I didn't even hear a word he said. Was it the microphone or is he just like an old mumbling man now? I can't even.
Oh, I think I did do an age check on Vince. He's only like 76, which I know, that is older, but he plays like he's 90.
Well, I think he's just starting to lose it a bit. I mean, we all know he's crazy, but I think he's like slipping mentally.
Yeah.
But I'm not a doctor. Let's go along to The Cutting Edge, another talk show, of course, hosted by Edge. But his guest this week is Maurice, fellow Canadian.
Now, was that
He's a
always
Quebecer.
the name of Edge's talk show back in the day, or did it have another punnier name?
No,
Okay.
I think it was always Cutting Edge, but it
Cutting
was never
Edge.
really
The
that.
Razor's Edge? No, it can't be that, no.
No. Yeah, whatever. Maurice is out. Maurice's promo skills a little rusty here. She's kind of, I don't know, not that great.
But you would think, though, after, the years, she's been off, she's on reality television, doing all these other things, you think her kind of just, like, talking skills would be still up to snuff, right?
Yeah, maybe it's just the live audience aspect got her a little.
Yeah?
I don't know. Either way, yeah, she seemed off. She was kind of rambling, and crowd starts booing, and she's just telling this pity story, and she's like, "Edge, you almost speared me. What would have happened to my young kids if you hurt me?" And, Edge isn't buying it. He says, "Yeah, just tell Miz to get out here." And Miz tries to attack him, but Edge thwarts it. So Maurice smacks Edge with her purse, and then slaps him in the face, which allows Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale. So Miz and Mrs. stand tall together.
Yeah, we're definitely getting to, I think the Miz Edge will be that first match, and then maybe towards the end of that, what's her name? Beth Phoenix gets in there somehow.
Yeah, I think they mentioned Beth somewhere in the segment.
Yeah. So we know the Glamazon's coming back for some fun mixed tag action. I think the last time we saw Maurice in the ring was actually that the John Cena Nikki Bella proposal match, the engagement on a pole.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, Maurice, she never did a whole lot of wrestling to begin with, but I'm sure she can get through a match.
I mean, how hard? Just land with smack your arms back. Make sure you land on your shoulder blades. What else?
Well,
Squeeze the ref's hand if you're okay. That's all the rules.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley taking on Queen Zelina. And Zelina puts up a good fight, but Carmella's not at ringside. She's banned, so she's on her own. Ripley's able to get a hold of Zelina, hit the Riptide to get the win. So a rare loss for Zelina in this recent.
I think it's her
run.
first loss in this little time period ever since 9/11. Ever since 9/11, Zelina Vega's been on a tear. And this is that first loss, at least in singles competition for her since that time. There was I think it was Nikki ASH. No, she was also banned from ringside. Okay, so I think a fan had to sign Nikki Ash. It was something like that. Maybe I saw a fan dressed up kind of in a similar costume. And I realized here's what I think is definitively here's what I don't like about the gimmick. Is that it's not Nikki almost a superhero. It's just almost superhero. It's like I don't think that you can have a proper noun like the grammar terms like a proper noun. Almost is not like that prefix for the proper noun. So I think what I've come to realize is that I just don't like, grammatically speaking, I don't think it makes sense. Almost superhero.
Yeah, that's why I usually just call her Nikki Ash.
Just put almost a superhero. That would make it. You can still make it ASH and have the little a, lowercase, and keep the other ones uppercase. I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we won't have to do it for much longer.
We are, though. Karrion Kross is gone. We can give her name back. With Piper Niven.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I want Piper Niven and Nikki Cross want a main event at WrestleMania. Why not?
We'll
Throw Mustafa Ali and Chad Gable in there. It'll be great. Mixed tag. Come on.
I mean, maybe Crown Jewel.
Maybe Crown Jewel.
Let's bring out Liv Morgan. Comes out, gets a big reaction from the crowd. You can see how happy she is. She's getting a nice little... She even went up to a little kid with a sign and kissed him on the cheek.
After Liv Girl kind of took off on social media, all these little boys are thinking to themselves, like, I could be Liv Boy.
Yeah, don't be like Alexa Bliss Boy, though.
Who's Alexa Bliss Boy?
Smacked her on the ass when Nia Jax was carrying her away.
Oh, I must have missed that.
At a live event. And then like everyone around was like, hey, they shook their head like, don't do that.
That's inappropriate.
It was inappropriate. He was a little boy, but he was old enough to know better.
Yeah, well, where's your fucking parent? Your parents should be the ones, keep your arms and legs inside the roller coaster at all times.
Yeah, pretty much. But so Liv comes out. She's got her wrist wrapped up from that assault from Becky last week, and cuts a promo on the title match coming up at day one. It was a little bit off more than she could chew. She's, short and sweet for Liv's promos, I think. Mm-hmm. She's still kind of not as seasoned at it. But anyways, we cut to some footage where Liv went over to Becky and Seth Rollins' gym. She sees some people in the ring, and she just jumps in, attacks the first redhead there with a kendo stick. Starts beating her up, and then it turns out she's some innocent girl.
Not Liv Girl.
Not Liv Girl. No, not that redhead. But then Becky shows up, and they start fighting, but Liv gets the better of her. So, anyways, we cut back to real time, and Becky comes out, and Liv throws a kendo stick down at her and just says, "Come at me, bro." And Becky says, "Nah," and she leaves.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve shit. She's Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
It's funny, Becky Lynch is a heel, but we don't talk about it much.
Well, because people still love her.
She still gets these big crowd reactions. Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah. It's just one of those. That's what they want. Okay. I mean, it's not what they want her to be heel, but people are still going to.
Yeah, we're still in this kind of like in between zone. She hasn't done anything really shitty enough. Mm-hmm. She's been doing all these like half shitty stuff.
Well, let's go to the main event. Big E and Bobby Lashley teaming up against Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. So can Lashley play on the babyface side? We'll see.
Now, I heard this match written online as a Teddy Long special, and I didn't understand what that meant. Any chance you understand what this means?
I mean, Teddy Long just likes to make tag matches all the time.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I heard it was kind of like an off comment in a blog, and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's all.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But,
hey.
Yeah. I mean, the match was fine. Eventually, Lashley hits Owens with a spear, gets the win. But then right after, Rollins comes flying in, hits him with a curb stomp, and then Rollins and Owens just beat up Lashley and Big E all around the ring. Start using the steel steps. Stomp Lashley's head in on the steel steps.
Yikes. Out cold.
Could be dead.
Might have been out cold.
Could be dead. Yeah, that was Raw.
Well, yeah, so we're playing the WWE, we're playing the can they coexist type of thing, with these types of matches. It's something we often say, right? Something we also say, there's people who are not capable of having a bad match. And if you were to look at the likes of KO, Big E, Seth, and even recently Bobby Lashley, they fall into that category, right? It's something that AEW is so just stocked with guys who can never have a bad match. And we're seeing that here on Monday Night Raw. We're seeing that here on the main event scene, which is great. But you are right. The Lashley babyface turn could be happening soon.
Yeah, seems like we're kind of in the midst of it. And I don't know, day one's feeling kind of wide open. Anyone could potentially walk out.
It feels like anyone can walk away with this, especially now that I have in my mind that AJ Styles is winning the Rumble. Now I need to book that match for Mania, right? I need to book the AJ is going to be in the match, so will he be heel or babyface, and who will it be up against? It's kind of like a reverse, it's kind of like reverse engineering.
Yeah.
Book the match and then figure out how we're gonna get there. It's the exact same thing.
We shall see.
We shall see. That was our episode of Monday Night Raw. Let's skip ahead a day amongst all of the NBA and NHL cancellations. Games are being postponed. Mm-hmm. Fantasy teams all over the planet are just being uprooted. I've never seen a larger implication on fantasy sports than the last 2 weeks. My league, currently right now, I gotta say before we hop into our next show, my league is pretty much just turned into whoever has the least amount of players and protocols wins. That's kind of what our league is turning into. I've had 3, and then I was down to 2, and now I'm up to 4. One of the guys in my league has 8 players out. It's just a fucking mess. So let's move ourselves to a very contained environment, where things don't get postponed. You cannot postpone a game of wrestling. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So let's move ourselves down to the Capitol Wrestling Center and bring you this week's edition of NXT 2.0.
NXT, what does it mean? I don't know, but it's some good wrestling. So NXT, watch and see. Gotta tap out a count out of 1, 2, 3. So
because we are looking forward to our New Year's Evil celebration, which I believe is happening after the actual New Year. It's not it's the 4th, I believe. Not an actual pay-per-view, but one of these weekly kind of larger shows they do, which have had great success in the past. They did a Great American Bash. Of course, our what's it called? Make a deal, spin the wheel. Halloween Havoc. Bash at the Beach. We're doing these little things, and we're looking to get there. But before this even happened, earlier on in the day on NXT, I'm cruising around the online, the social media, as people call it. Which, by the way, I hate the term social media. Just say like Twitter or just say Facebook. I was cruising around the social medias, and I saw that AJ Styles will be appearing on this night of NXT. Huh?
Yeah, is this his first ever NXT appearance?
Because of course he fucking skipped right. He didn't even have to do Tough Enough. He just skipped right through it. AJ Styles in a kind of post reached out to all WWE fans that AJ Styles will be coming onto the program this evening to talk to Grayson Waller of all people. So we're gonna get more on that later. This week's episode of NXT 2.0 kicks off with Tommaso Ciampa, our NXT champion, calling out Braun Breaker.
That's right.
Why? How? For even thinking that he could defeat Tommaso Ciampa. Now, and Ciampa kind of says, "Hey, yo, I accept. We're gonna have a match, New Year's Evil."
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, man, I've been with Nakamura, Balor, Joe. People have wrestled all over the world, and you've had 10 matches? But anyways, yeah, Ciampa's just kind of acting heelish, telling him the title's too much, too soon. Slaps Braun in the face. Breaker responds. He lifts Ciampa above his head, but then he just puts him down and laughs. Hands him his belt. Says, see you in 2 weeks, champ.
See you in 2 weeks, champ. Yeah, Ciampa has always been great on promos. So that doesn't matter. But the change of attitude, yeah, like you said, a little heelish, but felt a little awkward. He was super confident until Braun Breaker got there. And then he started playing that super scared thing. Almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of story behind this rivalry, right? Not only the black and gold versus 2.0, but also, 2.0 driving out Johnny Gargano, driving out Kyle O'Reilly, driving out the people who Tommaso Ciampa helped build the brand with. And, of course, Braun Breaker got that big pin over Ciampa at War Games. He's clearly the focus of NXT 2.0. No matter what, he's going to fucking shine. So I don't think there's really a reason to bring Ciampa down just to build Braun Breaker up. I think, I don't think maybe that doesn't necessarily need to happen. Maybe Braun Breaker can just be built up while with Tommaso Ciampa kind of staying at his own current level. And hey, dude, this is coming from me. Week 2 of NXT, I said, fuck this. And guess what? I came right back, right? I'm hooked again. So crazier things have happened.
Yeah. But
we did say this. I think we said this. The first championship opportunity, we said Breaker's going to win, and then we said the next one. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know at this point. Maybe it was wishful thinking on my part that they would just kind of put the belt on Braun Breaker and then be done with it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
He could still take a couple more losses.
He could, but I think New Year's Evil. I think he's going to walk away.
This will be it, eh?
I think so.
Okay.
Unless Ciampa goes even more fully heel and does some really nefarious things to keep the belt. We'll see.
Yeah.
But let's go to Dakota Kai, supposed to take on Raquel Gonzalez in a street fight. But we don't even start the match because we just cut backstage. They're already brawling, just knocking shit over everywhere. A lot of random pipes just being stored.
I didn't know there were so many pipes. It's such a the WWE backstage area is one of the more dangerous workplaces kind of out there. Nobody's ever heard of WSIB. There's no workplace safety protocols.
No. So, anyways, they're just fighting all around into the parking lot. Referees trying to get them back to the ring so they can start this match. So eventually they do. More weapons, just trash cans, chairs, stairs, everything. Dakota Kai does a little callback to the War Games 2020 when she stuffs Raquel in the inside a garbage can, hits the big double foot stomp, just crushing the can all around her. So, crowd was hot, chanting NXT, just loving everything here. Raquel power bombs Dakota right onto the steel steps. Just a big slam there, and she goes to finish the job, picks her up, hits a Chingola bomb right onto a trash can, crumpling it underneath, crumpling Dakota, and then she makes the pin, gets the win.
Pin for the win. And did we see the shovel?
She might have pulled it out.
I might have pulled it out, but never quite made it happen. Ever since I was expecting this match to maybe be a bit longer. I think it was sub 10 minutes. I don't even think it kind of went through a commercial break or anything like that.
Yeah, but I guess all that extra stuff before with the backstage.
I guess maybe that wasn't part of the match yet. So that's a good point.
But yeah, either way, they crammed a lot into a short amount of time. A lot of weapons and stuff there. But
yeah.
Afterwards, Raquel gets on the mic, tells Mandy Rose to get the hell out here. I want a rematch. But then Cora Jade comes out and says, yeah, I want to make Mandy pay as well. And then Mandy herself appears on the screen, sitting in her pool. And she's just like, well, ladies, you both get a title match at New Year's Evil. Triple threat. And then Gigi and JC appear and attack them with kendo sticks.
Which I thought Mandy Rose, I don't know, this it looked like it was kind of filmed at her house or something like that. Why did they should have? How do I say this? Why was her pool green? Green, famously like the worst color to be filming. It makes everybody and everything around it look sickly and dying. It kind of looked like Mandy Rose was swimming in a pool of nuclear waste. And again, it's just like a little lights in the pool. We've seen this a million times, but why? Couldn't quite put my finger on that one. It's live events rule 101. Never use green across somebody's face. It's always going to make them look sick. So that was a weird one for me. But other than that, hey, what you going to do? What you going to do?
What you going to do, brothers?
Brother.
But Creed Brothers up next, taking on Grizzled Young Veterans. These two teams have been beefing for a bit. And yeah, it was good. Good tag action here. But in the middle of it, Jacket Time come out parading. They've got their own little mini announce table with them. So they just start calling the match in Japanese. Briggs and Jensen come out. And yeah, eventually just distractions, big brawl. Everyone just starts fighting. And so nothing really happens. No contest.
Yeah, this was fun, though. With the Jacket Time, I guess that's what we're going by, right?
Yeah.
Something a little bit new. Kushida kind of feels like one of these guys, too. There are a few of these people, like we were saying with Thatcher just last week, people who survived the releasing Part 6, but have nothing to show for it, necessarily. And Kushida is in that same kind of boat, for me personally, right? He didn't get released, but he's not on TV, so you're just kind of like, why? Are him and Thatcher, are these guys who weren't released just so they don't go somewhere else? Because I feel like Kushida, he's like a 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. He could just go there immediately and have a job again. It's weird to see. It's weird to see,
At this point, I don't think that they care anymore about not releasing so someone else can't have them.
So then why are fucking him and Thatchman, what are they doing?
Maybe they just don't even remember that they have them.
Yeah, I guarantee you Vince McMahon has no clue who Timothy Thatcher is.
Yeah, absolutely not. Anyways, up next, Dexter Lumis takes on Trick Williams. Pretty standard Dexter match, lots of stalking and slowly chasing you around, and until Roddy Strong shows up and starts brawling with Carmelo Hayes. So back in the ring, Dexter takes control. Trick takes off his shoe, tries to hit him with it, but Dexter ducks that, hits the side effect, locks in the silence, and Williams passes out.
Trick Williams, he's kind of the other side of the Carmelo Hayes group, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he loses. Grayson Waller shows up, hits Dexter with a chair. So now Indy's going to cry for another 2 months.
Yeah. Was she even on? Did we even see her there?
There was something backstage, but I don't even remember what it was. Nothing special. Her and Persia talking to someone.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting.
Doesn't matter.
One thing that you blew past right there, what was I going to say? The triple threat. Right? That's what you were saying?
Triple threat?
Just before that, with the guy with Cora Jade.
Yeah, Mandy Rose, Cora Jade.
And Raquel Gonzalez. This was a particular... I think this would have to be funny. I'm just kind of like using my noodle right now. After you brought that Twitter information to light, I'm trying to think of the shitty things that Raquel Gonzalez or Braun Strowman have done. I remember Braun Strowman put out a tweet being like, all you guys getting released, you should have money saved up, and you shouldn't be complaining. I do remember that. And I feel like I remember a tweet from Raquel Gonzalez where it wasn't like supporting Trump, it was just relaying one of Donald Trump's messages. I'm trying to remember that. As we all know, Braun Strowman loves guns, and he has a big American flag tattooed on his shoulder. Is there irony there? Is there some kind of irony there that, yeah, it is easy to be a keyboard warrior, but now Cora Jade in her real life, like, she works for a company whose wife was the fucking, like, Trump's small business advisor. You know, the paychecks are coming down. She takes the paychecks, even though the man writing it is married to a woman who works for a guy who literally raped kids, and no one's talking about. You know, like, is there some kind of irony here, or am I just reaching for straws?
I don't know. I think we've gone far. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
Oh, well, you know, because the Cora Jade tweeting against Darby Allin, being like, "Hey, it's not a gimmick, and you're a shitty person." Now she's involved in a match, working for, you know, like everybody's a shitty person. That's kind of maybe what I was getting at, right? Now you're working a match with Raquel, who's going out with the guy who's a shitty person. After Raquel was a shitty person,
who's she going out with?
Who?
Who's Raquel going out with?
Her and Braun Strowman.
Oh, she's with Braun Strowman?
Yeah. This has been going on for a little while now.
Okay,
this has been going on for, yeah.
That's where I lost.
Okay, my mistake. But we still haven't.
No, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that's where I was getting at. You know, like, Cora Jade's now in a match with Raquel, who was sympathizing with Trump, who she's dating Braun Strowman, who has sympathized with Trump and also said shitty things to independent wrestlers, while Cora Jade sits there and accepts a paycheck from a man whose wife was Trump's advisor on small business. You know, it's kind of one of those things. It's like, yeah, it is easy to be a keyboard warrior, but hey, like, you know how much.
I think for Cora, it was just like, hey man, what did I do to you?
Yeah, it was more of a hey man, what did I do to you? But then also like the wait. Yeah. I'm signed.
You want to take a swing? I'll fucking come.
Yeah,
swinging.
I'll take a swing. Maybe, but you know, sometimes, hey, if you're in WWE, you got to take a step back and say to yourself, like, oh shit, wait, my salary is being paid for by Saudi Arabia.
I mean, the Khans have made lots of money.
The Khans have made a lot of money.
Deals as well.
It's all. See, that's what I'm saying.
I think by definition, any billionaire has done some shady shit.
Yeah, who's the coolest billionaire? Even Jerry Seinfeld dated that 17-year-old when he was 38. So I mean, I can't even. If even Seinfeld's not safe, God.
Well, Seinfeld, I love the show. The man himself, he's a bit of an asshole. I'll just say that.
Ah, God, who's the coolest billionaire out there? I got nothing. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on though. Yeah. Next match.
Yeah. Grayson Waller comes out, starts cutting a promo, but then he gets interrupted by our special guest, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, making his special appearance in NXT. Huge reaction from the crowd. Lots of chants for AJ. Yeah, he just tells Waller, shut the hell up, and Waller says, no, I know why you're here. You lost your meal ticket last night. You need a new tag partner to make you relevant again. And AJ just says, come on, man, I see you out here wrestling with gloves on. You got a single elbow pad, trying to be AJ Styles Jr. or something. But
and it wasn't until he said that I realized all of these things. Yeah, Grayson Waller in that War Games match, he was wearing the gloves like AJ Styles does. He did that big, or meant to be big, but didn't feel big, elbow drop. And I was like, yeah, that's why you need the elbow pad. See, AJ Styles wears an elbow pad and doesn't do any elbow-related maneuvers. It's a phenomenal forearm, not a phenomenal elbow.
He just likes to pull it.
He just likes to pull at it
before he does it. Yeah. But he's like, yeah, you know, you say you're a future star, but I don't know. Guys like Braun Breaker, Tony D, Carmelo Hayes, sure, but you had a good 3 weeks and you think you're a superstar? Try being phenomenal for 20 plus years. So you want to do something, do it. But then Waller just backs down and leaves. Says, nah, I'll let Omos get you first. And then I got next.
Okay. But, so maybe working down there in NXT a little bit?
Yeah, seems like we might get some sort of cross-promotion match.
Yeah,
here.
trying to get some more eyes on NXT maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, could be a fun match. But we go backstage. Malcolm Bivens lays down a challenge on behalf of Roddy Strong for against Carmelo Hayes. He wants to do Cruiserweight title versus North American title. Both belts up for grabs at New Year's Evil.
A 2-for-1. The old 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, could this be their way of phasing out the Cruiserweight title?
Well, and I mean, unifying a championship is a great way to get rid of the championship, right? We've seen it forever. Remember that WWF European Championship, which eventually gets unified with the Intercontinental Championship. So this isn't new. It's just surprising to see it on a belt which does have a little bit of pedigree behind it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't said that they're unifying them or anything yet.
But yeah, it's sort of the way things have been done in the past.
Yeah, and I feel like the Cruiserweight title, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. 205 Live, no one gives a shit about that.
Well, exactly, right? Now that 205 Live is, kind of dead and gone almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a Cruiserweight show anymore. It's just a main event show.
Yeah, it's just a on the thing. But this is good news for any Undisputed Era fans.
Yeah, Ollie, that's the last piece of business. Drop the belt, and then you're free to go.
Well, I mean, even so, we're still only like 50% there. It just feels like we're close.
Yeah, but I think we all know what's coming. We got more of MSK and Riddle's excellent adventures here as they all start riding scooters. They get hit by a car, but then MSK wake up. It was all a dream. Or was it? Because they pull an RK Bro hat out of their fanny pack. And then Riddle shows up and they ride scooters for real this time.
Yeah, still a bizarre thing. It's really weird, keep MSK relevant with somebody who's not on the brand doing a thing that is implied to be not family friendly. It all feels like a smoke and weed character is not the direction I thought NXT 2.0 was going in. Apparently it is, though.
Yeah, I don't know. But it seems like Riddle's going to be making an in-person appearance, I think.
Some kind of a manager thing.
Yeah, or maybe a 6-man tag. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. But
Von Wagner up next, taking on Adris Anofi. So I think we all expect Wagner to get an easy win here. He's dominating the match, goes for a power bomb, but Anofi reverses it, pins him, gets a 3. So what an upset.
Already NXT 2.0 using the 50-50 booking style. That works well for everybody.
Well, I don't know. I think this is Anofi's first win, so
it could be. Yeah, we had seen him. Well, I think there's a little accent on the E at the end. Is it Enofe?
I don't know. But either way, Wagner, he's pissed, beats him down as Robert Stone watches on. But, I mean, that's not going to do anything for you. We're having Robert Stone as your manager. Come on.
Yeah, what's up? Historically,
what has he ever done?
What has he ever done for anybody besides taking a bump instead of you? Yeah,
and I think he puked once or something. I can't remember.
Drake Maverick peed his pants. I don't remember the poo.
No one said poo.
Oh, okay.
He puked.
Oh, puked. Sorry, cut out there for a second.
Yeah,
Jesus, I don't remember him shitting his pants. I would remember somebody shitting their pants. I'd remember that.
Yeah. Let's go to Elektra Lopez taking on Io Shirai in what's got to be biggest match of Lopez's NXT career.
Yeah, certainly is.
So, I mean, she started off doing pretty well, but then Zion Quinn comes out, just starts beating up Legato at ringside, pulls out a mistletoe, holds it up over him and Elektra, but then Escobar jumps in, attacks Quinn. Io hits Elektra, hits her moonsault, gets the win.
That's the win in a pretty kind of quick thing.
Yeah, nothing to it. They're still just doing this tango between Quinn and Lopez.
Yeah, maybe. How do you put somebody over with little experience, right? Somebody like Elektra Lopez, who, we're trying to build up in this company here. She has had a string of performances since probably September. But shouldn't you be going longer with Io Shirai, like we just saw at Winter is Coming, like 60 minutes with Bryan Danielson makes your fucking career. Right? But 4 minutes with Io Shirai isn't enough to make anybody anything. 15 minutes with Io Shirai, that is a little bit to maybe make something of yourself. It's a weird booking decision. We have seen on this, we still have one more match here on this episode of NXT. We've seen less matches in the past few weeks than we did initially. Initially, we were getting 10, 11 matches a fucking night, and that's in a 2-hour span. Tonight, only 6. Which is, kind of that kind of chop down, still a little bit, probably like what Dynamite would have. A little less than SmackDown. SmackDown's a little more careful with their matches there. Yeah. It'd be nice to see some of these things, especially the Von Wagner squash, turn that into the Io Shirai Lopez match. Who knows?
Yeah, it would have been nice. Get Lopez a little bit more of a showcase, but let's go to the main event here. Tony D'Angelo taking on Pete Dunne, and Tony getting real over with this crowd. They're liking him, and probably his best match yet. They got to go about 12, 13 minutes here, and yeah, just hard fought back and forth. Tony just hitting these huge suplexes, just releasing Dunne, fucking pretty much landing on his head on a couple of them. Just vicious suplexes. Mm-hmm. But, Dunne himself, he's the bruiserweight, so just hitting big strikes, and crowd's pretty split, just cheering for both guys here. And once again, Tony rips Dunne's mouth guard out, and but Dunne's able to get a hold of him, start manipulating those finger joints, and eventually hits the bitter end, get the win. So pretty good match, though. But Tony's a sore loser, beats up Dunne afterwards, and pulls out the crowbar, smashes his hand with it.
The thing he uses to break people's fingers with. A finger on a pole match. Yeah, this was definitely... and this was one of those examples, like we had just said, regarding Elektra Lopez and spending time in the ring with an actual performer making your career. This was Tony D'Angelo's biggest test so far, right? And I gotta say, he passed. You put on you put on 15 minutes with Pete Dunne, that's going to do something great for you. And while the gimmick may be a little ridiculous, maybe a little too ridiculous for a top spot, he's got the charisma, he's got the talent to transition over to a big name, and with the way it ended, kind of taking out his hand there at the end, Pete Dunne versus D'Angelo, we could see this as a part 2.
Yeah, maybe New Year's Evil, maybe shortly after. Who knows? But there's definitely needs to be a rematch, I think.
Yeah.
Dunne's going to want some vengeance.
Yeah, that's definitely it. Definitely the rematch we need. And, God, we did it in one straight shot, but that was all of our professional wrestling action for the week.
That's right. The big holiday specials are all happening this week. Yep. They're getting in. Like we said, the Shooties just around the corner.
Just around the corner,
the final push. Bianca Belair lifting up Dewdrop. That could be a
spot of the year.
Potential spot of the year. Who knows?
Is a category. Of course, we'll probably have one more weekly show before our Shooties, and it's always a fun time when it happens.
I mean, not only are we still getting ballots in, we're adding new categories as we speak.
Speak. We're going to need a, similar to the, like the Oscars have like their before the Oscars day where they give out all the technical awards. We might have that kind of soon, right? Where we're giving out little production awards in a separate ceremony so that the big show is just, the important stuff. But let's get to our final important segment of the week, because, of course, I'm talking about crowning a new Wrestler of the Week.
Mr. Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week.
Mike, I'm going to kick this one off here for you. Not a lot at stake throughout this entire week. We're building to year one. We're building to New Year's Evil. We're building to this New Year's Smash. Of course, Revolution coming in February. So it kind of felt like a bland week It kind of did. But when reviewing all the things that were happening, it might have been a bland week, but we sure as hell got a big moment. We've been waiting for it for weeks now. The big Hogan Andre WrestleMania 3 moment. Bianca Belair dewdrop. We finally got it. And for that feat of strength alone, Bianca Belair, you are my wrestler of the week. We knew it was coming, and I'm so glad it finally did. Congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, it's always impressive. I mean, you look at her; she's jacked, but she's not like freakishly. You know, she's not like those.
She's not a bodybuilder. She's not a female bodybuilder.
Yeah, like she's very fit, but like she's just got like that tremendous strength that explosive
and, athleticism, I believe it's called.
Yeah, and yes, I'm gonna give it to her as well. Bianca Belair, what an amazing moment, lifting up Dewdrop, and I mean, if she can do it to her, she can do it to anyone.
If you can lift Dewdrop, look out Omos, look out Big E. You're taking that KOD pretty soon.
Yeah,
I can see it.
But
yeah, and that's all the time. Thanks for listening, folks. Remember to rate, review, like, subscribe. The show is everywhere. We will probably be back. We'll probably have one more post-Christmas show. Kind of finalizing all of our shooty information and just kind of recapping the week, because come January 1st, not only is there a pay-per-view, but it's kind of like the new start of our season, really. You know, WWE season starts approximately October 22nd. True Brothers season starts January 1st, when we cannot wait.
Yeah. And I mean, same with AEW, new ranks reset.
Yes.
Records for the year.
Yes, the records for the year will all reset. Really looking forward to all that kind of everything and all the excitement that comes with it. That's all the time that we have, though, folks. Thanks for listening. Mike, you take care of yourself.
Yes. Have a good holiday week, everybody.